Karibuni mabibi na mabwana. I just thought I'd spice it up. Why not start it with, you know, a quick throwback to like back in high school and primary school. But welcome to a fantastic Kinuthia. She started her channel in January 2017 and already has a total of 2.5 plus million views and almost 30,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, which is unheard of. It's YouTube and social media and how it's been able to create careers and change lives for so many people. And two, because I'm just so curious to ask you all these questions. I'm like, let's get into Joanna's world.
I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. First, you look amazing.
Thank you.
It's great when the person that you see online is like the exact same person as the person that you meet.
Yeah.
Where do we start? Let's start from makeup. Which came first, your love for makeup or your love for YouTube?
My love for makeup, definitely.
Okay.
My love for makeup started way before YouTube, but it was inspired by YouTube. So yeah, I started watching some makeup tutorials on YouTube like in 2008.
Whoa.
Which now I've just learned is just a few years after
YouTube. No, that's quite early on.
Yeah.
So who were you watching at that time?
I was watching people like Marlena. I don't know if you know her. She's the founder of Makeup Geek.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I saw like a weird story about the whole drama.
YouTube
and makeup. But Michelle Phan or no?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I would watch their videos and I was just so fascinated with how they could transform themselves.
Yeah.
And in fact, I watched one where she was describing how to make your eyes look bigger.
Marlena?
Makeup. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And it was just so mind-blowing.
So at this time, where are you in your life? Are you in uni? Are you in high school?
I had just left primary school. Yeah,
wow.
I had just finished class 8. So it was that long break before you go to Form 1.
Okay.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of my time watching YouTube videos, but I didn't actually start wearing makeup until maybe Form 3.
Yeah, because class 8, you're still quite young. I was going to ask if your parents were like, sure.
No, no.
So at that time, where are you getting your makeup from and stuff when you're...
Now when I started wearing makeup in Form 3, I have an aunt who wears makeup. So I would just use some of her stuff because no one else in my house wears makeup. Not
even now?
Mom. Now they do.
Oh, now they do.
Now
back then,
too. But back then, no.
No one really cared. No so January 2017 comes along and you decide it's time to start your channel.
Yes.
What drove that decision?
I had actually started on Facebook. For me, YouTube just seemed so big. It just seemed so scary.
Yeah.
And Facebook, I don't know why, it just seemed less scary.
So you'd put up videos on Facebook?
Yeah, short videos, a minute long videos.
Yeah.
And people actually liked them, which shocked me.
No, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. You've got such great presence. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I would post those clips, just beauty hacks, and people actually started sharing and were enjoying them. And then with time, people were asking me for more. They wanted longer content where I could explain, you know, exactly what I was doing. So I'm so big on New Year's resolutions, you know, new year, new beginning. So I decided January, this is it. Now, this is when I'm going to start my channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you explain to people watching what exactly it is you do, because it's so confusing to a good number of people, because it's something that's only cropped up. I mean, if YouTube only started in 2005, to then call yourself a YouTuber, to a lot of people, and especially the older generation, would be like, what does that mean? Do you take pictures of yourself? What do you do with the pictures? Should you even be taking pictures? So explain to someone exactly what you do and how it serves you as a business model.
Okay, so what I do is basically content creation.
Okay.
I create content. For me, it's beauty and lifestyle, so makeup, hair, and then I do vlogs about my daily life.
Yeah.
So I put those videos up to add value to someone's life.
Yeah.
And then the way to make money through that is to, okay, there are three ways. One is YouTube itself. So YouTube can put, brands can approach YouTube to put ads on your videos, and then you split the revenue, you and YouTube. And then there's also affiliate programs, which is where I recommend and refer people to buy a product, and then I get a percentage if they actually buy the product. And then the main way is to collaborate with brands.
Okay.
Yes.
So 3 very clear ways of
Yes.
monetizing.
Yes.
And that, I think, puts it beautifully in a nutshell. You are a content creator the same way there's so many media outlets that are sharing content.
Yes.
And you found ways to monetize that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, how do you know what to share online and what not to share? Because just now you talked about beauty, lifestyle, and skincare. No, and vlogs. And
Yeah.
vlogs. So how do you know what to put out there and what you're like, oh, this one? Because I saw you also put your dad on one of your videos recently.
Yeah.
So how do you know what to put and what not to put?
It's been difficult
Yeah.
for me to know, because you know, on one hand you have to share a part of yourself for people to be able to relate and
Yeah.
connect with you.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you don't want to put out too much
And
It's
everything?
been,
Yeah.
it's been I've learned.
Yeah.
I can't say that even at this point I really know where to draw the line.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely learning. I don't share much of my family on my YouTube channel. In fact, the video I did with my dad, he was just talking about nutrition, so
Yeah.
they don't know anything else
Yeah.
about it. But he was just talking about nutrition, so I don't share my family much.
Yeah.
And the parts of myself that I share are just parts that I feel could, I don't know, help someone.
Right.
I guess.
I hear you. I hear you
Yes.
100%. Do you feel the pressure to share more? Because it feels like to me that we're in this age of sharing everything.
Yes.
Every last thing. I mean, you're giving birth and there's like a
Yeah, a
camera
camera
there.
right
You're, you know, painting your house, there's a camera there.
Yeah.
You are picking schools for children, there's a camera there. Which is great because, again, it allows people to connect and to see themselves in others.
Yes.
And that kind of connection is important. But it could, you know, it does have its downfalls and
Yes,
stuff. So do you
it
ever feel the
does.
pressure to share more than you want?
No.
No,
I
you're
don't.
just like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're gonna take what I give you.
Yes.
I love that. Were you nervous the first time you put up a video on YouTube?
Yes, I was quite nervous. I was really nervous. It got, I kept checking, and I think I got maybe like 36 views
Yeah.
in 1 week after I put it, and
Yeah.
I think they were all mine because I kept going to, I kept going to check and just watch and see if
What's
people
the
have watched.
situation?
Yeah, so I think they were mine.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, now
Yeah.
you have a lot more than that. You usually have like easily 10 to 20,000 views on a video. Sometimes even 50, 70,000 views, which is crazy.
It's still crazy to me.
So how were the first few months for you? If the first week was 36 views, how were the first few months of sharing? What was the response like?
It was slow. It was quite slow. I think I hit 500 subscribers probably 4 or 5 months into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 or 5 months, and yet about a year later, you've got 30,000.
Yeah.
How did you build that audience?
I think it's just by being consistent. When I began, I would do 1 video every week. And then when I decided to jump into it and do it full time, I started doing 2 videos every week. So consistency as well as giving value. You know, I want someone to come to my video and when they leave, they've gained something, you know, some knowledge or I don't know, just
Yeah, they know how to feel good by doing their makeup, or they feel connected to you.
Exactly.
I think for a lot of people also, it's maybe if they don't have, you know, this great network of friends, just that creates a community.
Yes.
For them to feel like they are a part of something bigger. So how do you know what videos to post? Like what's going to be a hit video? Like you're like, this one, wait till they see it.
Sometimes it's a gamble, honestly. Let me tell you something. There are some videos that I put no effort into. I look horrible. And those are the videos that do so well. And I'm just like, no, this is not me.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think those are the ones?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Is it Are they usually makeup related?
Sometimes they're makeup related,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're not. But then when I see that kind of a video doing well, then I'm able to create content along those lines. So with time, I guess I've been able to know my audience and know what kind of
Yeah.
videos they enjoy.
So what kind of videos do they enjoy?
Well, they like fashion hauls as of late.
Okay. I can understand why, because you look so cute. I mean, I
Thank
feel like I'm just obsessed with Joanna. The whole shop, like, you're just
Oh
so
my
amazing.
gosh.
I understand why fashion hauls are.
Yes, they're
would
quite
be-
popular.
Yeah,
They're
popular.
quite popular.
Uh-huh.
Some vlogs are also popular. Depend. You know, also how I title the video is quite important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, what's the key to that? Because again, the whole business model surrounds your being able to grow your audience,
Yeah.
to grow the number of subscribers, right? So if you where you were at 500 subscribers isn't the kind of power you hold when you walk into a boardroom at 30,000, and it's not the kind that you'd have at 1 million. So you've got to be very very aware of everything that you do and how you put it out, how you title. So what are some of those things, if you don't mind sharing? Because I know that there's a bunch of people who are going to watch this who want to jump into YouTube.
Yeah.
So what are those specific things that you believe has helped expand your brand in as short a time as it's done?
Yeah. I think the first one is just being myself. It's just being myself. I went onto YouTube and I didn't try to be anyone else.
From the get-go, you were very
Yes,
comfortable?
from the get-go,
Wow,
I didn't
yeah.
try to be anyone else.
Yeah.
If I use a matatu, I use
Yeah.
a matatu. That's
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know? So I think people are able to relate with that more. Also, the consistency helped a lot.
'Cause right now you post 2 videos.
Yeah, 2, sometimes 3
Yeah,
videos
a
every
week.
week. So
Yeah.
that consistency helps when people know on this day at this time there's going to be something from
Yeah,
Joanna. That
yeah.
really helped a lot.
Yeah.
And then also just continuously trying to get to know what my audience wants to see.
Yeah.
Which is something that I've been able to learn through the past videos I've done. You know, if I look back at the videos I've done, I'm able to see, okay, this one got, in fact, sometimes it's not so much about the views, but the
Yeah.
likes. Because you could get a ton of views, but not so many likes. But the likes can tell you, you know, what kind of content people want to see. And then I create more of that content.
You were talking about titling the videos.
Yes.
What are some tips around that?
I think you have to make the title catchy, not clickbait. Not clickbait. Don't say I'm getting married and yet you're not.
Yeah. If you don't know, if you're not really familiar with YouTube, there's a whole bunch of videos that go up that are just crazy. Like I jumped off this skyscraper and fell into a shark's mouth, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
And then what
And
you
then
see
they're
is like a
just hanging out
towel
a toe.
that has a shark's towel, and you're like, that's not a New York building. That is just a shop. What are you talking about? So a lot of people have been like baited into clicking on videos with these grand titles that don't really live up to the titles.
Exactly.
So
you have to make it catchy.
Catchy.
But it has to definitely be related to the video. Don't put something that's not actually in the video,
Yeah.
you know? And then just try and get your viewers' attention. You know what your audience likes. You know, people tend to be curious about your personal life.
Oh, yeah.
So if you could make your title around that,
Okay.
you know, like, am I in a relationship? Then everyone is just
like,
there, like,
is she?
yes,
That's
it's
so funny. I wonder why people are so curious about anything that's incredibly personal. I wonder if that's if it goes back to really just people wanting to connect. Like if you say you're struggling or it's difficult or you share something that's so beautiful and intimate, then it allows people to really see you and to see themselves in you. I think it goes back to that.
Yeah, I completely understand it, because even me, when some of my favorite YouTubers post something like that, I am just there.
Click, what are they saying?
Exactly.
So what equipment did you start out with?
I started off filming in my bedroom, first of all.
Okay.
But I was lucky enough that my dad had a camera. So it's just like I was meant to do it, you know?
And at this point, where were you at this point in life? Were you in uni? Or
I was in uni.
You were in uni
I was in my final semester.
Okay. And did you study anything to do with YouTube or
Well,
media?
I did marketing.
Okay.
So it's
Ties in.
Yeah,
ties in
a
quite
bit.
strongly actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in your last year of uni, you're in your bedroom and you
Yes.
had your dad's camera.
Yeah.
How did you know how to edit? Because that's a big part of this too.
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube. So
Okay.
I actually didn't have a laptop at
Yeah.
the time. So I would, and I didn't have lights. I didn't have any studio lights. I had
Okay.
to film with natural light. So I could only film during the day.
Yeah, so
And
right
if
in front of a window.
Yes, and if it was raining or then that was it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And so I would film in my bedroom and then during the day, and then when my mom came home from work, I would edit at night using her laptop.
Ah,
Yeah.
So you really made the most of the instruments and the tools that you had around you
Yes.
from the people around you.
Yeah.
You make do. Again, you know, a lot of times people chase perfection instead of going for what you love and just starting now. You wait till
Yes.
everything is perfect,
Yes.
but that's not
It's-
how it
it's-
works.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then if you wait till that moment, it would be like
The
5
moment
years.
may never come.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
it may never come.
We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll get into the business and the brand that is Joanna Kinuthia. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. We've been talking to Joanna Kinuthia, who is one of Kenya's top YouTube rising stars. She's got about 30,000 subscribers, has 2.5 million views in total, and yet she only started last year. And what we're getting into for this segment is to understand the business and the brand that you've created. So earlier you were saying how you were in uni when you started, in your last year of uni. At which point did you decide to pursue this full time?
I finished school in March of last year.
Okay.
And then I just decided to go look for a job. I think I just felt the pressure.
Yeah.
You know, everyone we left school with was looking for a job, was in a job. So I was like, even me.
Okay.
I better also look for a job. So I looked for a job and I got a job. But when I was in that job, it just confirmed to me that that was not for me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I didn't feel like I was having a direct impact on people's lives in that job.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like I would ever be able to make that direct impact, you know, just in a corporate job. I was just like a drop in the ocean, you know. If you take the drop out of the ocean is fine.
Still,
it's fine.
Yeah.
So I left the job. And
how long after?
How long after I started the job?
Yeah.
A couple of weeks.
Okay.
A couple of weeks. Like when I know something, I know, and I don't even waste time.
That's so funny. I was waiting for 4 months, 5 months. A lot of people wait. You know, I think it's even the security that a job gives them.
Yes.
So were you nervous about that?
Of course, I was quite nervous because
I
wasn't even making any money from my channel at the time, and not just that, I didn't even know how to make money from my channel.
So how did you then make that such a bold decision?
I just decided that, you know what, YouTube will work itself out. I'll figure things out. I'll learn how to make money and I'll start making money, but I just can't stay
in that job.
I just can't.
And at this time you were still living at your parents' house?
Yes.
Okay.
Which made it much easier for me.
Yeah.
In fact, my dad, he didn't really support the decision at first, but he was always one to say, you know, this is a good time for you to make such bold moves. You know, you don't have responsibilities, you don't have kids who you need to take care of. Like, this is the time.
You don't have rent. If you had all these other costs, you don't.
Then I might have stayed.
Yeah, but I love that you still took the leap, because even though you still had that safety net, a lot of times people are like, oh, that it's too new and too daunting. For them to really take the leap, but you were like, no, this is what I want. Did you give yourself a timeline whereby you said, I'm going to try this for this long, I'm going to try see if I can make it work, if it doesn't, then I'll do something different?
No, not really. I just burned all my bridges.
Yeah, you were like, this has to work.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
If this doesn't work, then that's it.
Yeah, it's so funny. When I decided to do full-time blogging, I mean, I thought I knew what I was doing, but at some point my parents were like, honey, we love you. Okay, we see your zeal and we appreciate it. But if you don't start making money soon, you're going to have to change. So and they're the ones who really helped push me into that. And they were like, you've got 3 months to make this work, because soon you're going to need to start paying bills around here. So that really pushed me to figure it out. But I guess in your case, it helped that you knew that this was a working business model, that you'd seen other people.
Yes, I had seen other people succeed on it. I just didn't know how.
Yeah.
But I said I would just figure it out.
Yeah. So what does you doing YouTube full time look like, and especially at that point? So what would your typical day look like?
My day starts at 6. People usually get shocked about that because again, people think YouTubers just lounge all day and then wake up and film one video,
put some lipstick,
and
they're like,
hi guys, and done. But no, there's a lot that goes into it. So I wake up at 6, and then I usually like listening to something motivational in the morning, just something to get my day started, you know, or I'll read a book, a personal development book, and then I start working at around 8:30. So in the morning, I like to do more admin work. So I respond to emails, I communicate with the brands that I'm working with at the moment, and then I do a lot of planning. So I plan out my content for the day, for the week, just all the videos, all the video ideas I'm going to do, what I need to do them, when I'm going to do them, and all that. So that's usually in the morning. And I'll also research for videos that I'm doing. So I don't, again,
Yeah.
people think that we just
click
and start,
Yeah.
but you actually have to do a bit of research into what it is
Your
that
craft.
you're putting out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So yeah, then in the afternoon, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I film
Okay.
the actual content, and then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are my editing and uploading days.
I think what people don't understand is just how long this process takes. Again,
Yes.
it's just assumed that it's just a click of a button. How hard could it be? You just
Yes.
talk about this stuff and you
And
just put it
that's
online.
it,
But
done.
there's so much that
Yeah.
goes into it.
Yeah.
And as I was even looking through your history on YouTube and your first videos and last week's video, was it last week, the one about glasses was the
Yeah.
most recent one.
Yeah.
They're completely different.
Different.
So it's quite clear to me that you've been heavily investing in your craft, whether it's the equipment that you're using, your editing skills, or even how you present yourself. Where did you get that capital to invest back into creating this really great set?
When I started making money from YouTube, when I collaborated with the first brand I ever collaborated with, it was Junction, the Junction Mall.
Yeah.
I bought a laptop immediately. My mom was quite happy, obviously.
Finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with time, as I made some money
Yeah.
from what I was doing, I decided to invest back, by just improving how I was doing things.
And also makeup is very expensive.
Yes.
That too. And you're constantly talking about makeup, new products, there's this and there's that.
Yes.
So was that also part of your strategy to put back?
Yes. Even now, I still have a budget for YouTube videos. So anything I need, if it's makeup, if it's the clothes for the fashion hauls, I still have a small budget to invest into, allocate into the videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just mentioned how you, at some point, then got your first client. Can you take us through what that was like? Creating the pitch and presenting it. What was in that pitch? Were you just like, I'm Joanna, I make videos, you want to work with me? How did you do it?
It was actually something like
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. The proposals I used to write back then.
Yeah.
I made it so much about me.
Yeah.
Work with me, do this for me. Me. But of course, now with time, I've come to learn that you should not even mention you.
Yeah.
It should just be about the brand. What value are you giving to the brand? How can you justify them spending money? For you to work with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first proposals I wrote were not the best.
Yeah.
But I've definitely learned a lot from where I started.
Right.
So now when I send a proposal, it has very little about myself,
Yeah.
just who I am, my numbers, other brands I've worked with, and then I mostly focus on the value that I'm giving this brand.
Okay, I hear you.
What will the sales improve? Will the brand awareness increase? Yes.
So, and how did you learn that part? Did you ask someone? What was your reference point for what that media kit or your rate card looked like?
YouTube.
I love how YouTube is her career, and it's also the answer.
Oh, it's the
to
answer.
all the questions.
It's the answer. So I just went online and how to create a rate
card and how to price yourself.
How to
as
price
well.
yourself. Yes. How
Okay.
to price yourself.
Okay.
YouTube is an amazing space because there are people who are so open. There
Yeah.
are people who are open, in fact, about how much they make and how they approach.
Speaking of that, you were also very open quite early on. I think that was the first video I was like, who is this girl? Because you were just like, this is how much I make on YouTube. And I was like, you're talking about it. You don't talk about that. But I loved it, and I loved how open you were. Was that a terrifying moment at all to just go online and be like, listen, this is what my YouTube AdSense looks like or doesn't look like?
It was quite terrifying.
Yeah.
But I figured that someone else would, I don't know, use it to first manage the expectations.
Yeah.
And also to see that that it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's changed quite a bit
Yes, it
over
has.
time. Because
Yeah.
back then you were like, it's not that much. I'm sure now you're like, oh, we're good, honey. We are good.
Yeah.
Now, how do you know what brands to work with and which ones? Do you ever reject some brands?
Definitely.
So what's that decision making process like?
First, I only work with brands whose products are actually good.
Okay.
And brands that I believe in. I can't recommend a product to someone who's watching and then they go spend their hard-earned money and then come back and tell me, Joanna, this product is so bad.
Yeah.
So it has to be a product that I have personally used and is good.
Yeah.
And then the reason why I would reject a brand is sometimes some brands may not believe in what I do. So maybe they see other brands are getting onto this bandwagon and, you know, collaborating with YouTubers and influencers, but they're not really, I don't know, they're not sold on it.
Yeah.
And it shows in how they communicate with you.
Yeah.
So I prefer to work with brands who actually believe in what I do.
I love that.
Yeah.
That you've also defined your worth. And it's not just like, please work with me, but also in the same way that you've carefully crafted this rate card or, you know, proposal and shared it with them as this is what value I can bring. You're also stopping to be like, but what value are you bringing my way? Do you understand my value? And I think a lot of times that line is blurred.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up with some influencers just working with
Anyone.
everyone and anyone, and there's no actual sense of honesty or realness around it.
Yes.
Now, a huge part of what you do involves feedback, whether you ask for it or not. It's gonna come. Okay, and it's like you could be here talking about like, oh, my hair, this is what I've done, and someone's like, I don't like your lipstick.
Yes.
Like, I didn't even ask about it. So how do you deal with the negativity that is online?
At first it was quite difficult. I would get one negative comment and I would really focus on it, and sometimes people think that I don't know, it's like they see like we're not real people, like we're not seeing these comments, you know. So at first it was quite hard, but now I just focus on the positive rather than the negative, because I could get 50 comments, 2 of them are negative, but 48 of them are positive.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no point dwelling on
the two. And it's funny because those are the 2 that you will just
yeah.
they'll just eat at you the whole day. Do you ever respond to these comments?
The negative ones? No, actually just delete them.
Delete. Delete and block?
Yes, delete
and block. I like that. That's a good motto.
And
delete
also,
and block.
There's something I had someone say once, which is that people who comment negatively or give you negative feedback, it's not actually about you. It has nothing to do with you. It's their own insecurities and their own issues that they're just trying to project on you.
Yeah.
So
just be like, not here.
Exactly.
Not in my space. Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay, we have to take another quick break, but we'll be right back with more from Joanna. Welcome back. We're talking to Joanna, and I'm just so thrilled because I get to understand her world in a deeper level. And if you are interested in YouTube and content sharing, whether that's on YouTube or other social media platforms, then you want to listen up because she's dropping some gems on how you can create a brand and earn a good living from this. Now, we've talked a lot about YouTube, but I also know that you've got a really strong presence on Instagram too, and that you do share content on there.
Yeah.
How do you know or balance between what goes up on YouTube and what goes up on Instagram? What paid posts are on YouTube and what paid posts are on Instagram? Do you view them as separates even?
To some extent, I do view them as separate.
Yeah.
But for me, YouTube has always been my main platform.
Okay.
So I put out different content on both platforms.
Yeah.
But I use Instagram more as a way to drive traffic to my YouTube channel.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess I was asking this because there's been so many shifts in the past, say, 10 years, where to start with it was heavily focused on blogging, and that was a thing, and then at some point it moved more towards Instagram, and so that's where more of the content and sharing was going up.
Yeah.
And then now video content became big, and so now it's going on to YouTube.
Yeah.
And now there's just like having to balance between all these platforms. Do you ever feel like there are moments where you're just depleted? Like,
Of course.
so how do you replenish?
How do I replenish? Because for me, not putting out content is not an option. It's what I do full time. And there are sometimes people who are in an 8 to 5, they don't feel like going to work, but they have to
Yeah,
go to work. So
yeah.
I have to treat what I do like that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So sometimes I'll just take a day off and not film, not do anything to do with work, and not go on social media at all, and just take a step back.
Because that's also very important, because there's in as much as social media is great, it's what has helped you earn a living, it's what you're obviously very passionate about. There's also so much that's taking place on there that every time you go, you're opening up your soul to all these comments and energies. And to create distance, I think is very important every once in a while.
Yes. But I also make sure to pre-film some content for those times when I just feel, low. Because there's sometimes I'll be like, whoa, yes, 2 videos today, 2 videos tomorrow. So that's when I'll create that content, edit it, and just keep it for the times where I don't really feel
smart.
like filming.
Smart.
Yeah.
Now, how do you make sure that you're always ahead of the game? Because one of the things about what you do, YouTube or social media, is that the ease of entry, it's literally anyone with a smartphone can be on YouTube, they can be on social media, and they can grow their brand. So there's an influx of young people who've seen what this is about, and it's almost like there's this new level of fame around it too, and so a lot of people are coming in.
Yeah.
So how do you ever even feel the pressure of being ahead of the game, or how do you handle that? How do you make sure you are always on top of things?
I wouldn't say that I've really felt the pressure to stay ahead of the game. Like for me, it's just always been about creating content that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
But of course, I also have to listen to what my audience wants to see from me, because if I just created content I was passionate about and no one was watching, then
it would be a hobby, not a career.
Exactly. So sometimes my audience will tell me, there's this new trend, can you check it out? Or when it comes to beauty, there's so many makeup products coming out every single day.
Yeah.
So I also have to stay on top of that by being on YouTube quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it stops being recreational for me, and it's actually research, to see what new makeup products are coming out, what would my followers want to see me review.
So who are some of the YouTubers that you watch currently online?
Currently?
Yeah.
Internationally or?
International. Oh, it could be both, it could be both.
Well, you, for starters. Yes. Yeah. I also love Jackie Aina because she's always so on point, you know, with the
Jackie,
reviews.
Jackie,
Yeah,
Jackie.
exactly.
We're singing Jackie's theme song. But
Yes.
she's incredible. And just to put this into perspective, there's been individuals who are millionaires who've bought homes for themselves and their families, who've changed the lives of the people around them and their own lives solely because every day they go online and they create what they love, and
Yes.
they do what they love as well.
Yes.
And they create from a space of passion.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're also going out there and like doing it too, it's amazing. But
Thank
anyway,
you.
Jackie Aina is a great example of someone
Yes.
who's really just created such a strong business model.
Yeah.
She's a black woman too. Very proud of that. So what have been some of the biggest milestones in your career?
Probably the biggest one would be I had a meet and greet earlier this year.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're doing this, you see the numbers grow, but
Yeah.
they're mostly just numbers.
Yeah.
So to see people actually put faces to these numbers,
Yeah.
that was amazing. That people would actually take time out of their busy lives to just come and say hi to me
Yeah.
and just support me and cheer me on. That was just that was just
nice.
amazing for me.
And that's a big part of what you do. Well, partly because there's a business aspect to it, like we were saying earlier, but also it shows, it sort of validates that you're on the right track because
Yes.
there's this community that's growing and they like what you're saying.
Yes.
But how do you make sure that it doesn't get to your head, that you're just like, hi, I am Joanna, who are you? Sorry, I'm not interested. So how do you, and again, I haven't even felt a morsel of your spirit is like that. Like you're so gentle and humble
Thank you.
and such a lovely young lady.
Thank
So
you.
I haven't sensed anything like that. So how have you made sure that it doesn't get to your head?
I think for me it's just about my whole attitude that I have, which is that first and foremost, my followers are the ones who have enabled me to be where I am today. So I'm just someone like them. I'm exactly just like them. It's just
Yeah.
that they decided to support me. So I have that attitude of gratitude
Yeah.
towards them because they are the reason why I'm where I am.
Yeah.
And then also, I stay at home a lot. I work from home. So for me,
You're locked up.
I'm
but
so locked
sure,
up.
I'm sure you see them. And at this point, when you say home, you've moved out of your
No, I still stay with my parents.
So how do you then how was the first time you met? How was it the first time you met someone, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you're talking about like, I just stay in the house. And really it's the truth. You just press a button, it's you on the camera. You sort of
Yes.
lose. So do you remember the first time that you ran into a subscriber?
yes, and I looked so bad. I looked
That's
so
how it
disheveled.
is. Why does it have to
I
be like
looked,
that?
and I just kept thinking she's just gonna go and be like, that Joanna. She doesn't look the way
Yeah,
she
it's
looks
the
online. Let me
filters.
tell you.
Filters on
them.
YouTube. But
Yeah, but other than that, it was so amazing to me that this person actually sits down and watches
Yeah.
my videos, you know, enough to come up to me.
yeah.
you
And
know?
have you gotten used to it?
No, I don't know. I haven't gotten used to it. Have you gotten used to it?
Also, I think to some extent, but in the sense that I'm aware that there's
Okay,
people
yeah.
who could be in the room and know
Yes,
who I
I know
am.
who you
So
are.
I don't know if that's getting used to it. But before I'd just be like, what? What? Me? You know me? Really? So I'd
Yeah.
be like proper panic mode, like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But now I'm aware that you walk into a room
And some
and
people
and
may
there's some
know who
people who
you
may know,
are.
and most people will just be like, sorry,
are you?
we don't care. Who are you? But there's some. So in that sense.
Yes.
Now, how do you deal with the interest in your life? Because, like we were saying earlier, there's a shift in the way people are sharing content, and it's becoming really personal. And you were saying you've got an idea, a sense of what those boundaries are.
Yeah.
But how do you still deal with the interest of and especially very personal aspects too? If someone's asking what lipstick, you'll be like, I'm wearing Fandango Purple by Sleek. It's fine to
Yeah.
just say it. But if someone's asking like, oh, who's that guy I
Yeah.
saw you with? How come you don't talk about this person anymore?
Yeah.
Where are your friends? Where's your best friend? How do you deal with that interest in your personal life?
I've honestly always just approached it with humor. I'm just
Okay.
like, haha. Like, I'm always like, haha, just, I'll share one of these days, wink emoji. Always, that's always been my
And does it
approach to
work? Do people
It
stop?
works.
Okay.
But I don't think they'll ever stop. They'll never stop.
No, it's never going
it's
to.
never
In
going
fact,
to
the
stop.
more you grow, the more
The
interest
more-
there will be. And then
Yes.
it'll be on little things. It'll be like, your boobs are like a little bigger. Are you pregnant? And it's like, what? Like, maybe I added weight. Maybe I am pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, with my pregnancy, other people noticed before I did.
You.
Yeah, I remember someone leaving a comment like, you
Oh
look
my-
pregnant. And I was like, geez, first of
What?
all, that's rude. Okay. And then like a month or a few weeks later, I'm
Yeah,
like, ooh,
ooh.
I am pregnant. I am pregnant. So there's just
Yeah.
like that real keen interest that I don't think will go away. But I think it's
Yeah.
good that you've created healthy boundaries for yourself so you don't get lost within the noise and
Yes.
everything else that's going online. What do your parents have to say about what you do?
Oh, my parents are so proud of me. In fact, they're going to watch this. We're all going to watch this. Oh, they're really proud. My parents are very open-minded people.
Yeah.
So when I told them what I wanted to do, they tried to understand it, of course.
Yeah.
And they were definitely on board with it. I don't know what else I can even say. Like, they're
Aw.
just so supportive.
They must be so proud too,
Yeah.
especially seeing just how much you've grown and
Yes.
and that it's no longer just something that you're passionate about, but you're earning a living from it. They
Yes.
must be like, that is a wonder.
Yeah, and they do that. They go to, telling other people like, yeah, my daughter is on YouTube.
That's so cute and so important that you do have that
Yes.
support system. What is your vision for your brand and how do you plan on scaling and growing?
Well, one of my goals is to eventually start my own brand. Working with brands has also shown me that, honestly, it's also convinced me of the power of the influencer.
Yeah.
So I also want to use that power for my own brand. I want to
Yeah.
create something for my community, something good, something amazing.
Oh, I can't wait
them,
to
yes.
buy, whether it's a lip kit or eyeshadow palette.
Yeah.
I would 100% be one of the first to purchase.
Oh,
I love
really?
what you do. and
I'll
I
hold you to
believe-
that.
No, I will. I 100%. I love what you do and I believe
Thank
in what you do
you.
as well. And you seem like such a grounded woman and yet you're still so young. You've achieved great success in such a short amount of time.
Thanks.
So disciplined and so focused. I wish we had more time so that I can unpack where that comes from. But for now, what I'd love to hear from you is any advice that you would have for someone who's starting out and wants to jump into YouTube. And it doesn't even have to be makeup. You could be watching this right now and you're like, meh, not into it. But you could be into cars and car restorations or tech or gaming. Oh, YouTube. There's a world
Oh, yeah.
and a wealth
Oh,
of
yeah.
of YouTubers and content that goes up on anything. So what advice would you have for someone looking to start out?
The first thing is just start, just go into it.
Yeah.
Whatever you have, if you have a smartphone, if you have a camera, whatever it is, just go ahead and start. The second thing I would say is to be yourself. Just be who you are, talk about things that you're passionate about, whatever it may be, the cars, the gaming, whatever
Yeah.
it may be. Just talk about something you're passionate about. Be consistent. So if you can do one video every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
then hold yourself to that.
Yeah.
And then the last one, maybe the most important one, is strive to add value to the people who are watching your content. They should not leave the same way they came to your video. Either they're smiling,
Yeah.
or either they've learned something,
A new trick.
or
I
you've
hear that. I
inspired
hear
them,
you.
or something.
I love that. And it
Yes.
gives you a sense of purpose in even what you do.
Yes.
Joanna, thank you. I will catch you on YouTube. I didn't even, why don't you say your channel? How can people find you? On YouTube, you are
It's just my name by
Joanna
Joanna
Kinuthia.
Kinuthia on all my social media.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to check her out. She does the best makeup videos and tips on like products that are inexpensive, you know, makeup for people who wear glasses. She's incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Now I want to end this show with a nice little neat bow, and that is to share a quick Travel Tuesday tip with you. Now, despite the beautiful game's popularity in Greenland, the country can't join FIFA, the international governing body of football, because the extreme weather conditions can't allow grass to grow there. And in 2006, they were allowed to participate in 2 World Cup qualifiers.